Just another rainy day in the valley. It's a beautiful day. I love weather like this, and you never know when it's gonna happen.
It's so beautiful I could cry.
But I don't need tears to make me wet. I got rain particles and shaders for that, and your girlfriend's got me. But sometimes this rainy scene feels a little lonely. I decided today I need a little bit more of a livelier crowd. So I made these little frogs to add some life into my game environment. What would you call it? To add a little bit of life into this wet little world.
Addy.
Now these aren't normal frogs. Stop struggling. This is a Jabo. You see his cute little wiggly legs. But unlike the meat ligonal frogs you're used to, Jabos don't jump around. But I've enabled them to do so much more. Mostly they just walk around, but they also make a really good ball. Check it out. Go. Oh shit. And go. Bye-bye. All right, let's go over to the design. So this design is, it's actually a really old design. I made this when I was in middle school. Kind of explains how simple it is. Not a whole lot going on. He's got 2 legs, just a mouth, and a lot of swag. I'm actually kind of surprised. I couldn't find any old drawings of it, which is weird for me because I kind of keep everything like a narcissistic freak. So I just sketched this one up really quick for you. I liked it a lot when I was a kid. I gave it the name Jabo. I don't know what that means. Honestly, he just kind of looks like Mr. Slippy from Kirby, which is probably where I stole him from. Objection! The model was made here in Blender, and unlike your room, this is where all the action happens. Now, it's a pretty simple model, not a ton of polygons. Don't want to overload the system when I bring 100 of these guys back into Unity. But as for the animation, you see he's got a little nice walk animation. And I don't know, something about it just makes me happy. The weight painting on this guy is garbage, but it actually ended up making his skin look all foldy when he's taking a step. I want to pinch it. I've also got a backwards walking animation, which is super vital, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. And lastly, we got an idle animation and the struggling one that you saw at the beginning of the video. How dare you defy me? The texture for this guy, I just painted it on in Blender and then did a little bit of adjustments in Photoshop. The UV mapping on this guy isn't actually that great. I didn't notice how badly I did when I was making him in Blender, but let's head on back to Unity. You'll see how much of a hack I really am. What the hell? Where'd that Jabo go? There used to be one of those Jabos on my desk, but all that's here is this month's love letter ready to be sent out to my wonderful Patreon supporters. I wish he could see our parasocial relationship blossom with a deeply personal and borderline disturbing handwritten message on each and every postcard. And a sticker? Wow, he's really missing out. Wow. There you are. Anyway, the first thing I did when importing this guy into Unity was making sure that I recalculated the normals. This just guarantees that our polygonal polywog is rendered perfectly. Now, I'm not a great modeler. I'm sure I could have done the topo a little bit better. And like I was saying earlier, the UV mapping isn't particularly great. You kind of see a little bit of a seam in the middle of their head, and this became especially apparent when I was fleshing out the materials. I linked the wet surface shader that I used in the description below, so don't say I never did anything for you, you goddamn leech! I also used this frog skin normal map to give him that raw turkey skin drip. The shader for this material helps give the Jabos that succulent slickness, with the added benefit of helping automatically draw raindrops on the surface. But since it's based on the model's UVs, you can see that the raindrops are perfectly mirrored between both hemispheres. At a distance, you can't really see it. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have known, okay? So just ignore that. There's nothing there. I ended up deciding not to mess with the UVs too much. Maybe I'll fix it in the future, but probably not. Now, once they're looking good and goopy, I attach a really simple wander around script. To actually animate them walking, I could use Unity's animation system, but I want their movement to be a little bit more natural and account for all the different types of terrain. And this is where our moonwalk comes in. I use this free inverse kinematics system to handle the walking for me. It can do people, it can do ducks, so it can certainly do the Jabo. The way that my IK system works is by using different directional walking animation. It takes these walking animations and calculates the length between each step in order to essentially generate a walking profile for that character, which it'll use to blend our different walking animations together based on the character's direction while sticking our tootsies to the tap floor. And now we got a little walking baby boy. But will he fit into our wet world, or is he too pure? this one on the desk. He's just gonna hang out here for a bit, but let's go check out the finished product, okay? So here it is, the results of all that work. We got a fuck ton of frogs. We gotta figure out a place to put them. Ah, go away. Go away, get off. Go away. There's a couple of things that we could still do. Their wandering script is pretty simple. They just kind of wander around a point. You know, maybe we'll make them eat something. It's fun watching them just kind of walk around. I don't know, it's just, they're not much, but you know, they mean a lot to me. So I know they're not the most impressive design, but I made them when I was a kid. It's really rewarding to see kind of after 20 years seeing this. Hello. Go away. It's rewarding kind of seeing these guys just wander around. I'll probably be adding more stuff in the valley in the future. If you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. And if you got any ideas of what I should add, I mean, put it in the comments. I'd love to steal your ideas. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.